Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EEBA webinar podcast series. My name is Aaron Smith. I'm joined by Nancy Bakeman, and Mary McLeod is on the call as well. And we're really pleased to welcome Carly Cipolla, the Director of Engagement with American Solar Energy Society, to present today on equitably transforming to 100% renewable energy society. Carly, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Aaron. Happy to be here. Happy to be a part of the EEBA webinar series here, sharing information about ASES. All right, I'll go ahead and jump right in. I, again, am Carly Cipolla, the Director of Engagement for the American Solar Energy Society. You can call us ASES. That's what we go by. To all of our friends. And so here I just have some fun photos of me and kind of my background. So here's me picking up some trash at a local park when I was in high school. I was the president of the environmental club in the suburbs of Chicago. And that's when I decided I wanted to go to the University of Colorado Boulder for school, hence my sweater here. So I went to the University of Colorado and I got my environmental studies degree. I also worked for the Environmental Center on campus, which is one of the first environmental centers to exist at any university. So really great experience. From there, I got an internship with ASES and I've been with the organization ever since. So I went from being a social media intern to now Director of Engagement with tons in between. Here's a picture of me with my boss, Carly Rixum, to my right, and to my left is Hunter Levins, and to the left of her is Marlene Brown, who's a huge supporter of our national solar conferences. So we love Hunter. She's come to a couple of our conferences. Look her up and learn more about the work that she does if you have some time.
Carly Hunter has some great books out too. I've read a couple. Yeah, so definitely add her to your reading list.
Yes, 100%. Hunter's awesome. Met her in person quite a few times, and she's really, really, really a cool person. So that's a bit about me. So I'll go ahead and go into a little bit more about ASES and who we are and what we do. So we were established in 1954, a long time ago. I've always been a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and most recently have updated our kind of about us page to include a bit more about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, which we call our Jedi task force and concepts. So what we do is we're not necessarily an organization that you'll call and be like, hey, I want to put solar on my house. Can you help me do that? We're more the organization that's going to share information about why you should go solar and provide resources for how to go about doing that. We have local chapters, over 40 local chapters across the United States that we can connect you with who would have better recommendations for you as far as like reaching out to installers or kind of what the net metering policies are in your area and what the exact benefits are, and anything like that. So we're more sharing information, resources, and then we also focused a lot on events. So we have our National Solar Conference, National Solar Tour, webinar series. I'll get into that, but more of a sharing information kind of advocacy side of things as far as who ASES is. We're also a big proponent of community. So our slogan is the power of community. So we love everyone that's in the ASES community and we invite you to join us. I'll go into how to do that here later in the webinar as well. But we also have an online community that you're able to log in and ask questions to who are some of our experts in the field. We have technical divisions experts also. So we do a lot. And again, that's mostly focused on sharing information and resources and hosting and directing events as it relates to the transition to 100% renewable energy. So I'm going to go into some more details about how to get involved with ASES. So first and foremost, and this is an event that I direct and I have been directing since I started working for ASES 5 years ago, is we have our 51st annual National Solar Conference. So this is Solar 2022, the energy transition with economic justice. It's a hybrid conference. It's our second hybrid conference. We had our first last year in Boulder. Excuse me, this year will be in Albuquerque, New Mexico this summer, June 21st to 24th. We've partnered with our local chapter in the area, the New Mexico Solar Energy Association, NMSEA. We'll have keynote technical sessions, special forums, a tour of Sandia National Laboratories, NABCEP solar installer workshops as it relates to the National Electric Code, solar and storage. And so lots of great events and extras on top of our usual technical sessions and content. To name a few names, we're going to have Noam Chomsky opening up on Tuesday evening. We'll also have the governor of New Mexico, Michelle Lujan Grisham, attending the conference for one of our keynote events. Another day, we'll have Shalonda Baker with the Department of Energy, Walea Johns, again with the Department of Energy, as well as Jonathan Nez, the president of the Navajo Nation. And on the last day, we'll close out, we'll have Ed Mazaria, who's big on passive solar that I'm sure some of you know of, being with the Buildings Association. And so we'll have him along with a couple other keynote speakers and special folks joining us throughout the week. So definitely don't want to miss it. We've got early bird rates available until March 31st. You can learn more. Yeah.
What's the cost for just an individual attendee for the early bird rate?
Yeah, so just general cost for the early bird rate is $550, and then we've got some discount codes as well. And we also, if you are an emerging or young professional, an opportunity for you to come for free, a complimentary conference pass that you can also apply for if you're a young or emerging professional.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so lots of great events and opportunities to join in and participate at the conference. We'll also have additional volunteer roles available if that cost is a bit out of your comfort zone. We're offering volunteer positions as well for the conference. Please go to ases.org/conference to learn more, and then you can contact me, conference@ases.org, if you have any questions specific to the conference or pricing or anything like that, and how to get involved. All right, I'm going to talk about our other major program and how you can get involved with ASES, especially being a part of EEBA. We have our 2022 National Solar Tour. EEBA is an official partner of the National Solar Tour this year, which we're super excited about. And it's going to be October 1st and 2nd this year. So we have the opportunity for you to sign up for an in-person or virtual tour. What these are is we have, you're able to put your house essentially on an online map. So people can either go clickable and do virtual, where you'll upload pictures or a short video of your house and its sustainability, energy efficiency, solar storage, any of those like benefits that you have in your home that you can share information with attendees of the tour, again, online or in person or hybrid. You can do both as well. And so a solar site, you can put your, again, house up on our online map so people can come and learn about all that you've added to your home to make it more energy efficient or sustainable. So we invite folks to highlight electric vehicles. We invite schools, businesses, community solar, community buildings, commercial, anything that can share information about solar and sustainability features to be on the tour. So it's not just residential buildings. If you own a business with solar, we'd love for you to be on the National Solar Tour. Last year, to explain, a local solar tour is a compilation of solar sites. So you can have a local solar tour, for example, if you're in Duluth, Minnesota, you can have a Duluth local solar tour where you have multiple sites all around Duluth, Minnesota, that people can go hop around in their one kind of local solar tour that you can go on in that area. Or you can have a single solar site outside of a local solar tour to explain kind of the difference there. Last year, we had almost all 50 states. We are looking for someone in North Dakota to participate in the National Solar Tour. If anyone knows anyone who has solar or any sort of energy efficiency, sustainability, EVs in North Dakota, we want to invite them on the tour so we can hit that 50 states.
Carly, we've got a couple great builders that use solar out by Rapid City, so I'll connect you with them.
That's amazing. Yes. And we want to hit that 50 state this year. We had over 2,000 solar sites last year. We want to hit that too. So please help us share information about solar and energy efficiency by getting involved on the National Solar Tour. How do you get involved? Well, you'd go to nationalsolartour.org/sign up. From here, you'll choose whether or not you would like to put together a local solar tour. So again, that's a compilation of multiple solar sites, either 2 or more would qualify you as a local solar tour. We have lots of volunteers around the country that opt to do that and again, put together multiple sites. If you don't want to go that far, you can also just do your own home. Like I said, it's still COVID, so you can either decide to do virtual, a hybrid, if you'd like to do virtual and have people come to your home, or just in person only. You can also make your tour an outside only kind of viewing, so you won't have people in your home. They can kind of look from the outside if you have any storage features, solar, anything like that. And you can also like post pictures and share information outside of people going into your home. So totally up to you on how you'd like to do that. As you're working through the form, you'll answer the questions in the exact order as they appear, because it's a special form where depending on the option that you click, other things will show up afterwards. So again, be sure to answer anything in the exact order. You'll also want to make sure that you fill out anything that's required and has an asterisk, or else the form won't be submitted correctly. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. But it's super easy. Kind of run through your questions. You get to share all the features that you have in your home. If you have gray water systems, geothermal, if you have ducks on your property or goats that help mow your grass, we love all of it. It's not just solar, it's energy efficiency, sustainability, storage, electric vehicles. We love all of it, and we want to share that information with folks who are looking to add those features to their lives and their homes. So our sign up deadline is August 15th. So you have quite a long runway to plan out how you want to participate in the National Solar Tour. Again, this is a partnership with EEBA that we're super excited about, and proudly have partnered with them on this event this year. So please be sure to sign up as soon as possible so you get put on the map. The map is front and center, nationalsolartour.org. And we'll have, you'll be able to share the information with folks that way. We set up a web page for you if you want it. So it's really easy. All you do is submit the form and we kind of do the rest for you. You'll be able to do some publicity on your side. We supply you with a toolkit, example press releases, social media posts. We supply yard signs to put out in your yard if you want them. Another big one we provide is a National Solar Tour brochure. So it's essentially like a little magazine. We have information in there about all of the different tours and solar sites that we have, along with basic solar kind of information and how solar works. So people that are looking to come view your home can kind of also learn the basics of solar energy or the basics of storage and how that all works together. So it's a really great opportunity that we'd love for you all to participate in. And again, sign up deadline is August 15th. Why you should participate in the tour. And again, we're just stressing that this is an opportunity to share information with folks who haven't quite made that jump to go solar or implement more energy efficient and sustainable features into their lives. So this is showcasing your examples, the money that you've saved, the investments that you've made to help others make that decision and that leap. So building community, sustainability and solar, spread knowledge. And again, this is an opportunity to we want to better our local environment and then increase the visibility of our communities. Also, if you live in an area or a community that is like a net zero community. That's really cool. And we want to share that information on the tour with other folks who can see that and know that there's an opportunity for them to do that in their lives as well. All right, here's just some more information so you don't forget. You can host a solar site, host a local solar tour. You can be an attendee if you're not quite ready to host anything. If you don't have any of those features yet and you're interested in learning more about it, come be an attendee, be a part of the National Solar Tour, and come to our virtual or in-person events on October 1st and 2nd. We'll also have events on the surrounding weekends. You can always learn more, nationalsolartour.org, check out the map to see kind of what's going on. You can also partner with the National Solar Tour, the conference, ASES as a whole at ases.org/media partners. So if you're an organization that's looking to also be a part on that level. If you have, if you're interested in sponsoring the tour, you can also be a sponsor. You can contact tour sponsors at ases.org to learn more about that opportunity as well. All right, so that was information about two of our major programs. So the National Solar Conference and the National Solar Tour are definitely two of our largest, kind of most engaging events that we put together every single year. And then we have some of our other programs. Again, this is all in our just transition to 100% renewable energy. This is the work that we're doing as an organization. So we have our Zero Emissions Network, otherwise known as ZEN. We love acronyms in the energy and sustainability space, in case you guys haven't caught on yet. So here's another one for you. We've got ZEN. ZEN focuses on creating a sustainable future. And kind of how they do that is they have resources. This is a big one again, resources that they provide to help each individual like you understand how you can reduce your carbon emissions. So we have a carbon emissions calculator at ases.org/zen that you can put in and learn your carbon footprint and learn how you can reduce that carbon footprint. They are working on a mentor kind of relationship where you can sign up to be a mentor of Zen to learn more specifics about how to reduce your carbon footprint. We're also working with Zen to partner with, again, those chapters, those 40 chapters we have across the country. Some of those are student chapters associated with universities across the country. So Zen's working on partnering with them as well to expand the reach of the program and reducing carbon emissions. And just like EEBA, we also have a webinar series that we love to share with our members and those of you in the public. So those of you on the webinar today can also participate in the ASES webinar series at any time. We have a YouTube account with our entire webinar series that we started in 2019. So up until current, you can go through and look at the information available that we have there about past webinars. What we do on our webinar series is it'll vary from technical content to everyday information about renewables, to again, programs where I can come on and talk about the conference or the tour and how folks can get involved with that. Just an example of a couple that we have. This month we had one about passive solar and passive solar buildings specifically for residences with Julian Wong, who's one of our technical divisions experts of our solar buildings division, who also is a professor at Penn State. And then next month, we'll have one about the National Solar Tour, where our tour director, Lauren Reddington, will come on and talk more about the National Solar Tour and how you can get involved with that. And then one of the following months, we'll have one about policy and what solar policy looks like across the country. We'll have representation from New England area to the Midwest to the Southwest. So kind of get perspectives from all across the country on how solar policy is looking in their area. So that's just a little taste of kind of some of our webinars that we have lined up. And a big perk of being a member of ASES is our online community. So our online community is at community.ases.org. This is a place for folks to ask questions about solar, renewables, sustainability, generally speaking. Again, if you have specific questions about policy in your area or how you can get involved, this is a great little online community to come in and ask those questions. You do need an ASES login to participate in the online community. We offer a free, no cost to you, 2-week trial membership that you can log in and participate in the online community for free for 2 weeks. If you'd like to continue, you can join ASES as a member. And yeah, so we've got great opportunities here to collaborate with other members of ASES, our chapter leaders across the country. Our staff and board of directors are always on, always willing to share information and develop new relationships. Not only do we have networking opportunities available, we also provide resources throughout the online community. We have everything ranging from like solar and sustainability support resource documents, such as I live in an HOA. How can I put solar on my roof? What are my options? So we have information about that. Putting solar on schools. That's another one we get questions about a lot, is how a public school can implement solar on their rooftops and how to go about doing that. To help for other nonprofit organizations on best practices to fundraising and hosting events in the nonprofit space. So tons of resources available on our online community as well. And another part of ASES is our quarterly publication, Solar Today. So this is a magazine that comes out seasonally and shares great information about solar and sustainability. We've got design trends and technology, businesses, policy, R&D, what's going on, research and development, what's the new. We had, a couple issues, we've talked about agrivoltaics, so implementing solar and farming in one place and how best to go about doing that. And we've had bifacial solar, so solar panels where solar's on both sides and the, viability of that and if it really works. And so we really get into that unbiased fact-based news in this magazine. You can get it both print and digital forms. Again, this is an ASES membership benefit, so you'll have to join ASES to get a sneak peek at the latest Solar Today issues. But yeah, really great content, and we'll have, always have information about our other programs and happenings in the magazine as well. You can go to ases.org/solar today to see past articles and other information that's been shared as well. And then we have also some emails that we send out and share information. So we have a couple of different email lists to help you stay in the loop. So you can sign up for any specific email list you want. You don't have to be bombarded by me, mostly sending you emails. So you can choose and decide what you want to be a part of. We have news and happenings from the solar and renewable energy fields all in one place. This is kind of more for technical folks or folks in the renewable energy profession. That's our Solar at Work newsletter that comes out every other week. And then we have a monthly 8-minute update. It's a monthly newsletter where I talk about our programs like I'm doing right now, except kind of the latest and greatest about those programs, what's happening and how you can get involved, as well as other updates from the organization and our partners such as EEBA, where we'll help call out information and the latest and greatest from them, and our other media partners or partners of the organization. So I have the link here to sign up. You can also just go to ases.org and there's an option to sign up for our email list there as well. So you can always stay in the know. And finally, as part of our just transition to 100% renewable energy, we're always thinking about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and how that fits into the renewable energy space, especially obviously as ASES. So we convened our Jedi task force back in 2020, and we've been using this to enact a commitment and advance Jedi values more broadly within the organization. So since we've put the task force together, we've participated in an ally workshop as staff and board of directors to learn how to be better allies. We've put together volunteer opportunities, scholarship funds, and opportunities for young and emerging professionals to be more part of the organization if there are any barriers. So we've really knocked down some of these barriers and become a more inclusive organization since enacting this task force, and we're really proud of the work we've been doing in the Jedi space. You can learn more at ases.org/Jedi. All right, here's where I ask you to get involved. You can join our community for access to all of our programs, events, and resources that I just talked about. You can use promo code webinar to receive a 10% discount on ASES memberships now through April 15th. So you can spend the next few weeks hanging out on our online platform, learning more about ASES and the work that we do, and getting involved. So you can join ases.org/join. If you already have a membership and you want to renew and get reunited with the organization, you can go to ases.org/renew to log in and renew your membership. You can still use the promo code webinar for 10% off. If you're interested in a volunteer or intern opportunity, I'd love to learn more about you. You can contact info@ases.org and let us know if you're at all interested in volunteering or interning with the organization. You can learn more about kind of what the roles we're looking for at ases.org/about/jobs volunteer. We're always looking for people who are great editors for our magazine. If you've got great attention to detail and have a past editing any sort of written content, we're looking for help in fundraising or marketing and sales to help us with sponsorships and fundraising for the organization. Looking for help for communications as it relates to the online community, as well as support for our events like the National Solar Tour and National Solar Conference. So tons of great opportunities available. Again, you can learn more at that website. I'll also share this presentation with the folks at EEBA to send to you guys. So you have all this information readily available after this as well. So again, feel free to reach out to us if you might be interested. And now I kind of just wanted to take a minute to go through some real life stories about some of our members who have implemented solar and sustainability into their lives and who have been past members of our National Solar Tour. So here's a quote from David Rivnick, who is an ASES Online Community member. I'll go ahead and read this out loud. Our home is quieter and brighter than most, and our cars accelerate and handle better than their gas equivalents. We look at this as a win-win-win-win and look forward to an exciting, clean, cost-effective, and sustainable future. So talking about the Rivnick family, a family of two who transformed their home by using passive solar, strategically placed windows to heat a home naturally, strategically the materials that you use to build your home. Passive solar is great and cost effective most of the time at making your home more sustainable and energy efficient. They also have solar PV panels and invested in electric vehicles that are again powered by their solar. Their net energy emissions are 85% less than the typical American home. They also cut their carbon footprint 89% from previous levels. They don't pay their bills, so they've saved quite a few dollars by transforming their home and making it more energy efficient and sustainable using solar storage and passive solar methods. And then another example from Tom Hoff. So they used to use gasoline and natural gas. They almost spent $4,000 a year on their gas bills and emitted 15 tons of CO2. And this is normal. This is, something that most large families can probably relate to in heating their home. If it's a gas powered home, gas powered, ovens and stoves. So something most of us can relate to across the country. So since then, they've put up PV. They've included better energy efficiency into their home, whether that's upgrading their appliances, putting in new windows, and then switching to EVs. So that's turned around they're spending to only $400 a year and emitting a lot less CO2 at 2 tons per year. The switch did take time, and that will, I mean, unless, that it's not that a lot of people have a lot of cash on hand to be able to invest in a lot at one time. So it's definitely something you can gradually upgrade your appliances, your windows, buying that new EV, whatever it might be. They did it in, I think 5 years is a fairly short amount of time to transform your house. But if you're capable of doing it in that length of time, that's great. But it is a great investment in the long run to make these changes. All right, well, I want to thank you all for listening to me talk about ASES and how we're working on a just transition to 100% renewable energy society. You can contact us at info@ases.org and always learn more about the organization at ases.org. I'll go ahead and open it up.
Yeah, thank you, Carly. And we're excited about our partnership with you on the National Solar Tour. I signed my house up as well. So I'm excited to have people come through. And I think, I mean, have you seen that, Carly, where, some of the solarized programs across the country, right? Where it's Solarize Connecticut or Solarize Minneapolis. Is it oftentimes people talking to other people where they really start to get solar and understand the finances and the impact?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about kind of getting your foot in the door and just learning those initial facts exactly about financing and that's the savings. And I think a lot of installers nowadays are really good about that too, where they show you kind of the payoff and how long that payoff takes. So it's very transparent, the whole process. And it's not just ASES who wants you to do that. It's other organizations such as these Solarize programs as well.
Yeah. And does ASES advocate for net metering and policies across the country?
Yes. As a 501c3 nonprofit, we aren't allowed to do too much as far as policy. We do have a cap on that, as our nonprofit status dictates, but we do support net metering and policies across the country. Our chapters are very involved on that side of things, and we always support anything that they have going on in their legislation as much as we can.
Yeah, had a great question come in. Can you elaborate on the justice part of the slogan? How is it achieved or incorporated into solar and sustainability goals?
Yeah, great question. So we partner with organizations such as Grid Alternatives, who works on putting solar in low-income communities. So that's a big part. We make sure we support other organizations who are actually boots on the ground. As far as ASES implements justice in our programs, that's by making sure that we have diverse perspectives on our board of directors, that our membership is displayed. We have the BIPOC community involved in our membership and in our conferences and events. So that's, again, making sure we have those diverse perspectives represented in all of the programs that we perform and put together. So that's always at the forefront of our mind. For example, something that I work on, in our conferences is our keynote speakers. We're going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We need to make sure we have perspectives from the Hispanic community, from the Native American community, and making sure all of those voices are heard at our events. So that's kind of a big example. And then again, making our events accessible. So our National Solar Tour is free and available for anyone to participate and attend. And then our conference, we have scholarships available. We'll also be launching student scholarships, so folks can actually get cash from ASES to help purchase books and anything like that. So we're really looking to support our renewable community in any way that we can.
Fantastic. Another question. How do you fit into the American Clean Power Association's Energy Transition for All initiative? Are you familiar with that? And
I'm not.
Okay. Well,
it's an interesting question, though. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, we'll leave that for another day. One of the concerns I hear is people say, well, how long do the solar, what's the payoff for solar panels? How long do they last? Are they sustainable? And can they be recycled? We've had quite a few questions around those topics. Can you kind of put all those in a nutshell for us, Carly?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Um, long story short, I think over the years, solar has become a lot more sustainable and panels are lasting longer. So I know people that have solar on their roof from the 80s that are still producing. So although they might not be as effective as newer panels, they do still work. So I know a lot of folks that hold on to those and they use them to power maybe their extra storage spaces on their property for ground mount systems or things like that. But solar panel recycling is becoming a lot more prevalent across the US. So you're able to take in those old solar panels and I also know a lot of programs that are allowing you to donate those old panels again to be used and repurposed in other settings, such as like on university, public lands, things like that. But recycling is also, if there's damage to panels, recycling is happening. Um, so so yeah, I think they're becoming a lot more sustainable and lasting a lot longer. The newer technologies that are coming out, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, and Carly, I mean, I've seen this in my neighborhood. I put in solar kind of first in my neighborhood. Now we have 8 solar arrays in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
but every one of my neighbors got a higher output solar panel than I did over the last 3 years. How fast are solar panels improving? Because it seems like you're getting to just, is it like Moore's law? Are they improving every 6 months or every 12 months, or what is it?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's accurate, and that's from the great folks working at the laboratories, like the National Renewable Energy Laboratories, NREL, Sandia National Labs. They're working on R&D all the time and improving panels. Yeah, I think that every day.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I get jealous. It's like my neighbors got better panels than I did. I'm like, oh, I want better panels. Okay,
You
so
can do a turnaround, right?
this is probably a great question, and it probably ties into some of the justice issues. But with half of residents in cities being renters, how do you encourage and incentivize landlords to upgrade to solar? The focus often seems to be on single family homes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big one. And that's so we have a local chapter, the New York Solar Energy Society, and our the chapter leader there is in the Bronx. And that's something that she talks about a lot, and like how can we get landlords to be putting solar on their residences. And that's again, I think, showing the finances and the payoff, and that your renters can pay for the solar on the rooftop. So that's maybe having a conversation with your landlord and showing them the cost and benefits of putting solar on their homes. And then again, it's hard with apartment buildings, talking to the builders of those apartment complexes, and that it's going to make your apartment more appealing to be able to say that it has solar on it. And people are, I want to rent somewhere that has solar. So I think that's really sharing the costs and benefits, and getting organizations involved. Like I said, Grid Alternatives works at putting solar in low income communities, and
Mhm.
getting these organizations involved where things can actually happen and get done, and
Yeah.
talking to your local government.
Oh, and I would just add, obviously it depends by your state, but we're
Mhm.
building, we're building a net zero apartment building. And when you look at solar for the apartment buildings, you get the 26% rebate, right? So that takes off some of the price. We have net metering in Minnesota, so that's
Mhm.
obviously an advantage. But the thing I didn't realize is that you have some straight line depreciation advantages where by the end of year 3, you've either gotten a rebate or written off 60% of the cost of your solar on an apartment building. So again, I noticed on last year's national solar tour, I mean, you do have apartments that are part of the solar tour. You do
Yep.
have community solar gardens and solar farms. And I think it's getting out on those days. It's talking to them. It's providing information to, because it's very tax advantageous for an apartment owner to
Yeah.
add solar.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point that I didn't even bring up: community solar. I mean, you can tap into that
Yeah.
wherever you live, and like Minnesota is a great example of community solar and what they've done, and to support low income communities that can tap into that solar access.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen anything with historic districts allowing solar? And Tucker, I was a longtime Connecticut resident, so I see that you're from Connecticut. But Carly, what are you seeing out there in solar districts? And then maybe I'll do an answer that.
Yeah, I as far as historic districts go, I have not actually. That's a really good point. I've not seen solar in most of those places, and I assume that's because it's a historic district and they have the certain vision for how that looks. But I can't really answer that accurately, other in the sense that maybe they'd allow ground mount systems in the backyards or something like that if they wouldn't allow rooftop. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, and Carly, if I could, we have a new sponsor coming to EEBA that is GAF Energy. And in talking to the team at GAF, they figured Tesla solar roofs were going to do to them what Tesla did to GE and Ford. And they said, forget it, we're going to go figure out the solar tiles for rooftops. And if you get a chance, just Google GAF Energy, and that might be a really good, voltaic integrated shingle technology that you could integrate into a historic district, because it's not a stand above, it's integrated into the shingles. And most installers will be able to install those. So check that out, please.
Yeah, that's a great example. I think that's definitely something that cities would consider allowing on historical homes, are those solar roof tiles.
Yeah, and then I think you're seeing building integrated photovoltaics, which can work around, and even windows with
PV, right? We one of our past winners we have a Women in Solar Energy Award, and our winner in 2018 had was creating PV panels that are built into windows. So that, I mean, like, you can get energy just from your window. So that's really cool technology.
Yeah. I think we have a question, but I think it's beyond our, this will be a check with your CPA question, but can homeowners capitalize on the depreciation approach as well for solar panels? And I think check with your CPA, because each state is somewhat different. My intuition is that the 45L tax credit may apply, but I think the depreciation is difficult. And then we have another comment that there's also solar films being developed, which is pretty cool. So much going on. I mean, this is an industry that in the past 10 years, I think solar efficiency has improved by 80% in 10 years, and just continues to improve every year. So if you haven't looked at solar, or I'll tell you a quick story, Carly. I put solar on our factory in Connecticut. But when I brought it to the board to add, and we did 5 megawatts of solar on that factory up in Berlin, Connecticut. But they told me, well, you're silly, it's too expensive, we can't do it. And the pricing had gone down so much that our first year savings on that factory were like $80,000 a year. We did a power purchase agreement. It cost us nothing to deploy. And we had a guaranteed escalation of our utility rate at 2% a year for the next 20 years. So it really can add to some resiliency for factories, for apartment buildings, for your home, for your community. And the price, it's worth taking a look again, even if you haven't in the last 5 years.
Definitely 100% agree with that. And I think energy resiliency and being able to provide your own energy is something that's becoming really important, especially in those Western states like California or Colorado, or anyone that has kind of wildfires going on where they're going to turn off the grid. And it's important to be able to have your own access to energy in those times, and be able to provide your own energy.
Carly, we're seeing, I just saw that new Enphase i8 inverter that came out that allows you to create a microgrid with your own solar array. That's a game changer, right?
Oh yeah.
So in the past, when my power went out here, my solar array has to go off. In the future, whether you have vehicle integrated battery storage, but you'll be able to create a microgrid at your home level, at the community level, at the building level, at the neighborhood level. And that really speaks to resiliency of kind of future-proofing the things that we're building.
Definitely. Yeah, lots of great new emerging technologies. I mean, it's hard to keep up with it all, but you know, if you want to try to keep up with it, keep in touch with me, keep in touch with ASES, and we're always sharing the latest and greatest in the industry.
Well, again, we're so pleased to be partnering with you. And one of the biggest questions, I mean, I get builders all over the country. Where can they go to find a solar installer in their community? Do you have that on the web? Just go to ASES.
We've got a list of business members on our website. And again, our local chapters love helping people out with those questions as well, because they've have recommended installers from folks in that community specifically. So reach out to ASES and we're happy to get you connected with folks.
Yeah, and as part of our collaboration, we are reaching out to ASES installers.
Yep.
And we will be adding them to the directory of net zero professionals on the EEBA Team 00 Energy Project websites as well, which we hope will help kind of bring more of the community together, which is great. So
definitely, exactly. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Well, Carly, thank you so much. It's so great to hear about everything that's going on at ASES, and we look forward to working with you more in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aaron. Thanks, EEBA, for having me. And yeah, I hope to have some of you who are on the webinar join ASES soon. We're excited for the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Carly.
Thank you. Have a great day.